Hey, good morning. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. So today, or actually I should say this week, I am featuring the Pretty Pumpkins bundle as my product of the week. And I know it is on back order. I believe it is back available starting next week. So here is the card we are going to make today. And I want to show you a fun technique with the soft pastels. I have featured them in the past, and then people have asked for more techniques with them. So I want to show you how to color that pumpkin in the middle here with the soft pastels. So if you're not familiar with Pretty Pumpkins, it is in the July to December 2021 mini catalog. So here is the stamp set, 8 cling stamps. And then there is the detailed pumpkin dies, and here's what they look like. So there are 10 dies that coordinate with this bundle. Hey, good morning, Robin. Thanks for tuning in. So I am featuring this actually because Saturday I am involved in a Stamp Out Breast Cancer fundraiser with a whole group of Stampin' Up demonstrators from this area, Massachusetts and New Hampshire mainly. So although people are involved from very far away, I should say, I should correct myself too. So I'll talk about that at the end a little bit more, but I wanted to feature Pretty Pumpkins this week because our fundraiser is coming up Saturday, and all the projects we're doing this year feature that bundle. So I'm going to point the camera down and we'll go ahead and jump in and get started this morning. This is like the simplest technique ever. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So hey, good morning, Janine. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me just make sure I can find myself in my feed. So it looks like I popped up, and okay, that looks good. So actually, before I even jump in, this card actually came together because I was looking at, it was a color that inspired this card. So Stampin' Up gives us these little color combination charts, and I mean this is an old one, but I believe all these colors are still current. So this one in the middle with pumpkin pie and basic gray spoke to me, and then I looked at the colors in the designer series paper, and lo and behold, the paper with the buffalo check is the designer series paper called Peaceful Place, and it's definitely kind of geared more towards Christmas. But anyways, I used it on a fall pumpkin card. And if you live near me, or maybe where you live, if you have pumpkins on the doorstep this time of year, they all got frost on them last night. So I think we may have broken a record. But anyways, let me jump in because you don't want to hear me talk about the weather. You want to hear me talk about the project. So again, we're using Pretty Pumpkins, and we're using the bundle. So if you get the bundle with the stamp set and the coordinating dies, you would save 10%. Okay, so let's dive right in. So why don't I just do the sentiment and get that out of the way. Hey, good morning, Dee. Thanks for tuning in. The stamping is definitely not hard, so I just have a little piece of basic white, and it is 1 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to do the gather together sentiment in basic gray ink. I love the font of this one. It's got a really pretty like handwriting font on it, and you could cut this longer. And okay, so I'm not thrilled how that came out, so let's try that again. Okay, so it's got a pretty handwritten font, so that looks great. I'm just gonna put that aside, get rid of my basic gray. So the stamping for the pumpkin, we are going to use Versamark. So this is going to be similar to Poppin' Pastels, but it's even easier or simpler than Poppin' Pastels. So I have a piece of basic white that is 3 by 3, and we are just going to stamp the pumpkin in Versamark. So this is kind of like the large single pumpkin. The stamp set's got a grouping of 3 pumpkins. I think I'm going to use the grouping of 3 pumpkins for my Casing Tuesday card this week. So every Tuesday I do a project for Casing Tuesday. We case a card from the catalog, and I put that on my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com, so you can always check that out on Tuesdays. So I inked this up really well, and I know it's a watermark, so you're not going to be able to see it very well, but I can see it, and it is there. And you want this to dry completely, so I actually stamped one earlier. That's the one I'm going to color. So I'm going to swap that out for one I did earlier. And I need some scrap paper for this. Okay. So this is where we're going to bring in the soft pastels. And they come in a cardboard box. And if you flip over on the back, you see all the different colors. So there actually are a couple different ways to do this depending on how dark or light you want it. But when you open them up, you will see all the colors. So there's kind of 2 yellows, a Poppy Parade, and then there's 2 greens, Mossy Meadow, and I believe that's Granny Apple Green. So I actually decided, if you want it light, you probably want to start with the lightest yellow, which is Daffodil Delight. You could add some Mango, which is the next one, add some Poppy, and then I ended up with Mossy Meadow for kind of like the leaves. So it's up to you if you want to do all 4. I am actually going to go Daffodil on this one, Poppy, and then the Mossy. So let me show you how simple this is. So you're just going to pick up your Daffodil pastel right out of the container, and you're just going to rub it across the Versamark. And I kind of went pretty light in my first sample, so this one I probably went a little bit dark. And then I'm done with the Daffodil. Now, you want to have a tissue or paper towel nearby, because what I'm going to do is kind of like take off the excess in between. Okay, and then I'm going to add some Poppy. And the first pass, I'm going to go kind of light. Okay, and then I can come back and add some color, kind of like the leaves in the fall, although I don't know if it was that great here in New England this year. I kept hearing reports that the weather just didn't cooperate. It was a very warm fall for us. So, and then I'm just going to kind of like buff off the excess. You can kind of tap some of the excess off, but with your paper towel, and you can kind of go and keep adding some more. Pick the ones that you want. You can still see some yellow on some of them, which I kind of liked. I kind of liked the lighter look. Okay, and then once you're happy with how your Poppy looks, you can add some green for some of your leaves, which, I don't know, I kind of picked some of these that I thought were leaves. You can go some of the sprigs, but there's like really no rhyme or reason. That was probably a leaf, but I added green there, so. But you can just kind of see where I'm going, and then you'll get a really pretty look. Now this one's kind of on the lighter side, and so was my original sample, was kind of on the lighter side. This one probably has some more variation in colors, but I did one that was darker too, and this is how the darker one came out. So I wanted to kind of show you the lighter and the darker. So this is like pretty fun and so simple, just using the chalks right out of the box with your Versamark. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way, and I'll stick with the dark one I did earlier because I cut that out. So after I added my color, I did die cut it with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I am ready to put all my pieces together. So this is totally from the color scheme, like I said, with the basic gray and the pumpkin pie. So I just have a piece of the Peaceful Place Designer Series paper that's 3 3/4 by 5. And this was very hard to use because if you see the back, it's like these pretty snowflakes. But I loved kind of like the buffalo check print, and I love how this is like super trendy, and Stampin' Up! Usually has a couple papers with this pattern. So I will use the snowflakes on a different project. So let's just get these layered together. If you want to save on paper, the pumpkin pie cardstock that I'm layering this on is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and you could totally cut out the pumpkin, the tall pumpkin die cut from this layer, but I just cut it out from a different piece of layer because that way you can do all 3 dies at once on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine after you stamp and color with the Versamark. So now I'm just ready to layer these guys up. So what I did is I just kind of put them on as a guide of where I wanted them. And my little silver pumpkin, this is from the Silver Specialty Foil Pack, and it's the one that's true silver. And this was a 2 by 2.5. I'll put the measurements below. So I kind of want these to overlap a little bit on each, kind of tall to short. And I kind of want this one to go on first. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue, kind of like where I have some of the spots I can cover it up. So I hope you're having a great week. I am shopping for a new dishwasher, so that's been the excitement this week. And man, I had no idea how the whole thing worked. So we replaced our refrigerator recently, and now we have to replace our dishwasher. So somebody told me all your appliances go in your house after about so long. So we've come to that point. We've lived here for 14 years. So right after this, I am going out to buy a dishwasher. I suppose of all appliances to croak, that would be the easiest one because we can totally wash the dishes by hand, right? So, okay, so then I kind of want to get my placement here, and I'll put this guy on with a little bit of Stampin' Steel Plus. But I need to get out and get that dishwasher bought because we have a team meeting later today, and I'm really super excited for that because we're doing like a team awards, so that should be interesting to see where I fell in our team this past year. And we do our team meetings on Sundays at 3 o'clock. So if you're watching and you would ever want to come to our team meeting to see what our team is all about and what we cover, let me know, and you could come as my guest. So we meet once a month, and if anywhere in the United States you could join because we have a Zoom option. Okay, let me put this on, and then I'll put the sentiment on. So here's the little piece we stamped on, and I'm just going to put that on with a little bit of Steel Plus. I did it kind of on the diagonal. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece of twine on. And let me show you what I did. This is the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack. This is the twine that comes in that pack. And what I did is I pulled out the Misty Moonlight. So you kind of got to look for a spot and isolate the Misty Moonlight from the silver and the white. And then just yank out the Misty Moonlight. Okay, just like that. It comes, whoops, I didn't get all of it in that one, but it comes out. And then you have this white and silver piece. I just tied that in a bow. It's an 8-inch piece. And then there's this little hole at the top where the pumpkin is, the top of the pumpkin, and I'm just gonna put a tiny dab of liquid glue. Now when you do this, I use this on my little tiny pieces of twine, but you have to kind of hold it in place. I like to use glue dots on my ribbon and my twine, but this is like such a tiny little knot that I will use a little tiny bit of liquid glue and then leave it here for a dab. So you might have to kind of like get it to set up for a minute. So hold it there. I'm not gonna futz with it. And then with the silver in the twine and the silver in the smallest pumpkin, I just added a metallic pearl because these guys come in gold and silver. And I just want to put that on with my Take Your Pick tool if I can find it. Here it is. So something's wrong with that one, so I'm going to skip over that one. I just put one. Okay, you could totally jazz it up and put more embellishments if you wanted to. But that is my card for today. And yeah, it's super pretty and simple. It would be a great Thanksgiving card. But kind of like here's the light and the dark pumpkin. So if you have a preference of I like the lighter actually, but some people will probably like the darker. Let me see. I want to see if I can show you the Stamp Out Breast Cancer projects on my phone. I am not sure if this is going to work or not, but on my phone I have a picture. If you want to come in person, the event is in Drake, Massachusetts at Harmony Hall, and it's this Saturday. Yeah, this isn't coming out, I think, very well. So anyways, I'll put a link below of its 5 projects, and they're pink and gold and super pretty. It's 4 cards in a box, and it features the Pretty Pumpkins bundle. So let me see, what do I want to tell you about the event? The event is open for donations online, so it's a $20 donation online, whether you want to come in person or if you live far away and you want to get just the PDF tutorials. There are 2. Let me bring the camera up at my face for this. This will probably be a little bit easier to explain. You guys didn't get this bundle and now you're kind of wishing you did. And I know that happens to all of us. So I actually did not get the bundle either until I found out we were going to use it for Stamp Out Breast Cancer, and then I got the bundle. So what we're doing is the in-person event is 5 projects. You can come around the room and make them. It's 4 cards in 1 box. And it's a $20 donation online, $20 or more. If you want to give more, that's welcome too. $25 at the door. So if you donate online because you live far away and you want to support the charity, I would love that so much. We're over, I think, halfway to our goal so far, and the event is this Saturday, so I think we'll probably make our goal. So if you donate online, you are going to get 2 PDF tutorials. So you're going to get the tutorial for the 5 projects that everybody in person is making. And then you are going to get a bonus. Actually, everybody that donates is going to get the bonus PDF tutorial. So oh yeah, you already donated, Robin. Thank you so much. It's amazing. This is our 12th year doing it. And last year we could not gather in person. So this card today is kind of like gather together. Yay, we can gather together. So last year we raised almost $10,000, and we were actually number 3 in all of Making Strides Against Breast Cancer of Boston. So we raised almost $10,000, like I said. So that was amazing. So let me see. Everybody's going to get a bonus tutorial. So there's a whole bunch of people who are coming together, and we're going to have a PDF bonus tutorial, all featuring cards from the Pretty Pumpkins bundle. So I'll post the link below of where to donate to the charity. And like I said, anybody that donates over $20 will get the PDF tutorials. And you will be entered into the door prizes that day. So just because you live far away, everybody's names is going into the hat for the door prizes. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will have the measurements below for this card and all the products I used. And I will be back next week with another project to share. Have a wonderful week.